You really think Boots can beat Zayas that easily? You don't think that's a 50-50 fight? Here's a warning for everybody at 154. Try to fight Zayas as soon as possible, because he's only going to get better and better. Boom! Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm talking about the fight this coming weekend between Xander Zayas and Abass Baraou. And I think this is a really good matchup. I think they're both reaching their physical prime. You know, debatable. We can get more into that later on, but I'm saying from what they've displayed thus far in their career, this is going to be the best version of each of them that we're going to get. I'm going to start off with the challenger, which is technically no challenger. This is a unification fight for the WBO and WBA title. But I'm going to start off with the underdog, Abass Baraou. He is a consistent pressure fighter who's not so fast, but what he makes up with the lack of speed, he has with accuracy and timing. He knows when to throw these punches. If you look at his last fight versus Zayas was clearly the twitchier, faster fighter. Almost, you could say, the more talented fighter. But that didn't stop Abrou from imposing his game plan and tiring him out and wearing him down and winning a clean decision in a really good fight. It was a really impressive performance by Abrou. So he is by no means a non-capable underdog. My man is capable, right? And on the other side, we got Xander Zayas, which, full disclosure, guys, Xander Zayas and Vergil Ortiz are my two current favorite fighters, so I'm going to refrain from mentioning the potential matchup between them two right now. But we're talking about Abrou versus Zayas anyway. Xander Zayas, I think, is one of the most complete fighters in the game. My man's jab is phenomenal. Discipline. He is disciplined to every degree that you could think of. Footwork, defense, very decent power, speed, tangibles. He parries very well. I think this is, you know, one of the more talented fighters out in the game right now on the top level. The problem with Zayas and Abrou is that they're fighting at 154, where the pool of killers is dangerous and deep. You know what I'm saying? We got Boots there, we got Vergil Ortiz there, we got Fundora there, we got that Russian dude, I can't pronounce his name, that knocked out Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu's in there, Keith Thurman's in there. These are really high level guys. So there's going to be a demand for the winner of this fight to fight one of those top guys. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, the prediction between these two fights, I'm going to be very blunt and honest with you. I think this is a very safe, clean decision victory for Xander Zayas. And if he's reaching that next level, he might be able to stop Abrou. Quick history lesson. Abrou and Zayas used to be sparring partners. And when you spar with somebody long enough or a good amount of time, you get to know their habits. So all of a sudden, that skill gap starts to close a little bit because you start knowing certain habits of the other individual, right? And now that could benefit a certain fighter more than the other, right? And a lot of people could say, hey, this will benefit Abrou because he's used to seeing that level of competition in the ring, and he has a good idea of what Zayas brings to the table in that ring as well. But I want to say something to the contrary. I don't think this benefits Abrou more than it benefits Zayas. Zayas, like I said, is a complete fighter, and I think he knows what to do in those trenches. Before I get onto the sparring matches, I want to point out that Xander Zayas, in his last fight versus Jorge Garcia Perez, he was putting on a very good clinic against a very good pressure fighter. Jorge Garcia Perez is one of the top dudes at 154. Maybe not top 5, maybe top 10, definitely top 15. Jorge Garcia Perez is a really good fighter, and he was putting the pressure, and Zayas was handling that very well. Extremely well. His jab, he was able was catching him. He was able to throw over his opponent's lazy jab and catch him and stun him a few times. But I want to point out to one thing. I can't remember what round it was, but there was a round where Xander Zayas got stunned, visibly hit and hurt to a small degree. And I remember the commentators going crazy. Oh, this is Garcia's best round. Oh, he hurt him. But I want everybody to remember one thing. What happened immediately after he got stunned with that right hand. Xander Zayas blocked every other punch coming his way. He blocked every single punch coming his way. This dude, and not just with dodging. It wasn't really much with dodging. It was with his hands. This dude was hurt and was like boom, 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 boom. Like, yo, this dude's IQ and instincts are phenomenal. Xander Zayas has potential to be one of the future stars in this game. You know what I'm saying? And in this fight, I think those tangibles are going to really show, because he's going to feel more comfortable in that ring than Abrou is. And, you know, the safe bet is Xander Zayas by decision. But I'm even leaning towards a TKO or KO with a nice body shot. Just timing him very well. This is going to be a coming out party for Xander Zayas. After this fight, mark my words, everybody's going to be like, yo, Xander Zayas, he's that guy. He can compete with the top dudes at 154. You know, so their sparring history will benefit Xander Zayas. So with that being said, guys, you know, I could get into the specifics, right? Who has the better jab? Everybody could agree with me. Xander Zayas has the better jab. He has the better combination punching. Maybe you could put Abrou's timing up there, but I don't think so. I think Xander Zayas is better in every department. He hasn't been shown to tire out like that. Again, his last fight, he went the distance with Jorge Garcia Perez, who is a very good pressure fighter, who has a good gas tank, who was coming off a good victory against, I believe his name was Max Conwell, who was an undefeated knockout artist. So, Zayas, despite Barou's heroic performance against Zayas, I don't think it was a better performance than Zayas against Garcia. And I think Garcia is a similar level to Abrou. They're very like this. As a matter of fact, if they fought each other, it would be 50-50 on who wins. So I think he's going to have a similar performance. And I think Xander Zayas might even step it up this match right here and get the stoppage on a very formidable opponent. Listen, guys, Zayas is the truth. All right? Listen, let's just throw it out there. What would happen if he fought Boots? I know it's very simple for people to say, oh, Boots would demolish him, Boots would beat him. You really think Boots could beat Zayas that easily? You don't think that's a 50-50 fight? Here's a warning for everybody at 154. Try to fight Zayas as soon as possible, because he's only going to get better and better, and it's only a matter of time till he starts proving that he's either top 1 or top 2 at 154. With all those names we mentioned earlier, Zayas could probably beat most of them, if not all of them. Alright, guys? So, hey, if you disagree with me, you let me know. Alright? With that being said, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. We talk boxing over here. You know what I'm saying? Till next time, guys. Boom. I'm out.